The NBA consists of the best basketball talent in the world. It is considered by pretty much everyone that if you make it into the NBA, you're an elite basketball player. But some of the players in the NBA aren't just good at basketball. They're also really smart. Some of the best in basketball and in academics. And we're going to be going over them today in this video. Enjoy! For this list, I'm going to be excluding Bill Bradley, as I talked about him a lot in my last video. Number 1, Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo Mplondo. Hey, am I hearing someone talking about Dikembe Mutombo? Hey, let me do the video. But no, this is my video. No, I am going to do the video today. You will not tell me what to do. You will not tell me what to do. Yeah, I will take the control from you. I will take it from you. I am the new here. Whew. I am doing Dikembe Mutombo. I am going to show African pride for today. You Americans can't pronounce anything right anyway. Number 1, Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo Mplondo Mukamba Dikejajawa Mutombo was born in my homeland of Africa in Kinshasa, a city of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He was one of 12 children born to Samuel and Biamba Mutombo. He was not born in the ideal educational system, but Mutombo was always very good in school as his father was a headmaster, or principal as you Americans call it. When he was very young, he wished to be a doctor, which is every African parent's dream. He did not begin his life playing basketball. His brother Elo made him start playing when he was only 16 years of age. He and his brother played for club teams in his home country. Eventually, Dikembe went to Georgetown College on a USAID scholarship. Even when he played basketball in college and he knew he was going to play professionally, he was very sad. In college, he would say, "I thought I could do both, but they told me it was impossible. Maybe I can still be a doctor one day after basketball." In 1991, Dikembe graduated with 2 bachelor's degrees in linguistics and diplomacy, which he uses today to help those in his home country. So many Africans were killed for this child. Not only that, he speaks 9 languages: English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, Chiluba, my mother tongue of Swahili, Lingala, and 2 other African languages. I tell you so, Dikembe Mutombo is the perfect African child. Are there any more Africans on the list? I don't think there are. I think they're all just like Americans. There is not. Then I have represented my African pride. I am out. Number 2, Jeremy Lin. Pretty much all of us know Jeremy Lin as being one of the smartest players in the NBA. He's of Taiwanese descent, naturally, and is the only current NBA player to have been to an Ivy League school, and one of the first in about 50 years. In high school, he had a 4.2 GPA and led his high school to a 32-1 record. However, he wasn't offered many scholarships, so he decided to go to Harvard, which his parents paid for. There, he made 2nd team All-Ivy League. 2 times he had 1st team All-Ivy League. And you can also see him in Niga Higa's videos, which is cool. But yeah, I think we all knew that he earned a spot on this list. Anyway, moving on. Numero 3, Pal Gasol. Pal Gasol was drafted in 2001 with the 3rd overall pick by the Atlanta Hawks. In his first season, he won Rookie of the Year while averaging 17.6 points and 8.9 rebounds a game. Now, this is pretty impressive, but you know what the funny thing is? Only 3 years ago, Pal was a bench warmer for the FC Barcelona basketball team. When throwing an inbound pass, he would be happy because he was actually playing. How is this possible, you might ask? You're telling me that a Rookie of the Year was a bench warmer for a European team 3 years before? Well, it's probably because of this. At 11 years old, I bet you LeBron James was thinking about how he would make it to the NBA or the NFL to get out of poverty. At 11 years old, I bet you Michael Jordan was dreaming about being in the NBA. But as for Pal Gasol, at 11 years old, Pal Gasol decided that he would become a doctor and would cure AIDS. And he stuck with that. At the age of 18, Pal enrolled into medical school, but he was unable to continue because the road trips with FC Barcelona took too much time out of his hands. After all, you need a lot of time studying to be a doctor. Fast forward a few years, and Pal Gasol is the number 1 pick in the 2001 NBA draft. But even while playing basketball, he still wishes to be a doctor. In a 2010 Sports Illustrated article, Pal said that he knew that he couldn't get his doctorate at the moment. And of course he can't now, as he's playing with a playoff contender with the Spurs. But even though he can't be a doctor, he's still pretty darn smart. He taught himself both Italian and French, likes to play the works of French composers on his piano, and occasionally reads 1,000-page historical novels. Not only that, but according to Jim Clemens, the assistant coach of the Los Angeles Lakers when Pal was there, Pal picked up the triangle offense faster than anyone that he'd seen in 20 years. And he's been to a few teams, so you do the math. Another thing so impressive about Gasol is he has the respect of Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant is called the Black Mamba for a reason. He's ruthless and cold-hearted. If you are weak, he will have nothing to do with you. But the Black Mamba has a respect for Pal Gasol. In his time in LA, Pal and Kobe had a special relationship. In his first day as a Laker, Kobe Bryant went to his room at 1:30 in the morning. They had a talk where Kobe said it was go time. It was winning time. Pal Gasol messed with that mentality beautifully. In 2014, when Pal Gasol left for the Bulls, Kobe didn't want him to go. While Pal was still deciding in the offseason, Kobe came to his house and they had a talk. And during that talk, Kobe said this: "I want you to stay in LA and battle with me and finish our careers together." When Pal left, Kobe still understood. He said, "I understand where he's coming from. Listen, we're people before we're basketball players, especially for a player that brought so much to this organization. I completely understand where he's coming from." If you can make the Black Mamba your friend and completely and utterly respect you no matter the decision you make, that means you're pretty darn intelligent. Number 4. Chris Dudley. Chris Dudley isn't the best free throw shooter in the world.
Watch the form here. Hey, Chris Dudley has been great for all these guys that profess to be instructors of shooting. They keep applying.
What is that? Try! What is that? Try! What is that? Try!
Or the best player.
Killers everywhere, it ain't no place to run. Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun. Ain't no mercy, ain't no mercy.
I mean, along with that incident, he only averaged 4 points a game over his entire career. Yeah, that's pretty trash. But to give him credit, he did have about a block a game. Despite his troubles on the court, he did pretty good off it, with achievements that are pretty impressive. He did have an alright childhood, with his father being a minister after graduating from Yale, and his mom being a teacher. However, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at only 16 years old. Despite that, he still played basketball and eventually ended up playing for the Bulldogs at Yale University, where he earned 2 degrees, one in political science and another in economics. In 1994, Dudley created the Chris Dudley Foundation, which was focused towards helping those with diabetes, basically helping them live with it. 2 years after he created it, he was awarded with the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award from the NBA, and received the USA Today's Most Caring Athlete Award a year later. After retiring from the league, Dudley continued with his foundation, started working at some wealth management job, and in 2010, ran for governor of Oregon. This would be his dream job, other than being in the NBA, especially as he gave up the possibility to be a US representative just to run for governor. Unfortunately, his horrific free throw shooting led to this.
Chris Dudley says that he is running for governor because he wants to help the people and families of Oregon by promoting job creation, tax cuts, and education reform. Sounds reasonable, but do you know the truth about Chris Dudley? Did you know that Chris Dudley set an NBA record by missing 13 consecutive free throws during the 1990 season? And did you know that a year earlier, Chris Dudley also set the NBA record for most free throws missed in a single trip to the foul line? Doesn't Oregon deserve a straight shooter? Vote John Kitzhaber, Democratic candidate for governor.
Which then probably led to this. He was insanely close to winning, but ended up losing 48% to 49%, as some 12,000 people don't really like trash free throw shooters in office. But still, Chris Dudley is one very smart man. And that's the end of the video. Now, I left a lot of players' names out, such as Russell Westbrook, Manu Ginobili, Danny Granger, but I felt like this video could only have a few. If you want a part 2, leave a like and tell me in the comments section below. Peace!